Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man istanna bi sunnatihi ila yawmiddin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers. Inshallah ta'ala, today we'll start our journey through the 40 hadiths of Imam An Nawabi. We have done up to hadith number 10, and we did a quick revision of those hadiths before the holiday starts, like before the end of December. So today, inshallah, I'll start with the next hadith, hadith 11. This is a small hadith, but it's obviously a beautiful hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before we start the hadith, as we do all the time, we'll just quickly go through the main topic of the 10 hadiths that we did, so that it refreshes our memory, and also we can, get the content of all those hadiths in our mind, inshallah ta'ala. As you can see from the board here, that in the first one is the actions are judged by intention, Imam An Nawabi, described by Umar ibn Khattab. Then the hadith of Jibril, the famous hadith of Jibril about Iman, Islam, and the sign of the last day. Then the hadith from the son of Umar ibn Khattab, Abdullah ibn Umar. Islam is based on 5 pillars, as you all know this hadith. Then we have the hadith from Abdullah ibn Masud, that the creation of the baby in the womb and the destiny, that how the destiny will take over a man's actions and everything. The fifth hadith is the hadith from our mother, Aisha radhiyallahu anha, and it was the hadith about the innovation, the bid'ah, that innovation in our deen is rejected. Anything new, or whoever creates something new, or whoever follows something new without evidence, without the proof from Quran and Sunnah, that will be rejected in our deen and considered as bid'ah. Then the hadith about halal and haram, that halal is clear, haram is clear, and about the doubtful matters. This hadith number 6, actually today's hadith is very much related with this hadith, as you can see that this is also similar to the doubtful matters. The next hadith we did, the religion, is the nasiha. Nasiha, as we said, the nasiha, what is nasiha means, is the sincerity. And this is the hadith from Tamim al-Dari. And also the next hadith is, I have been ordered, as Rasulullah said, that he has been ordered to fight against the people until they testify, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. And we had this hadith, we discussed what is the context of the hadith, how a scholar has looked at this hadith, and what is the explanation of this hadith. Number 9 is avoid that which I forbid, and do which I command as much as you can. From the instruction from Rasulullah, whatever is haram, whatever you know that is haram, you avoid it completely. And whatever has been commanded to do, we should do as the best of our ability, obviously by meeting the obligation. So we do the obligation first, and then we do our best to meet the, reach our righteousness as much as possible. And the last hadith that we did is, verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pure, and He likes pure, and He doesn't accept that which is pure. And over there, Rasulullah gives us an example of a person who had traveled so much, in the desert. He has disheveled hair, and he raised his hand to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but he has been fed through haram food. His drink was haram, his clothing was haram, everything was haram. So Rasulullah said, how could his dua be accepted? By saying that, Rasulullah said that if your rizq is not haram, your earning is not halal, then there is a possibility that that your dua will be rejected. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala won't accept that dua. So today's hadith, as I said, is a small hadith, and this hadith is narrated by Abu Muhammad al-Hasan ibn Ali ibn Talib. So he is the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was one of the favorite person of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as mentioned in so many hadiths. Rasulullah loved his grandson Hasan ibn Abi Talib because he is the first child, first grandson that born in the 3rd year of Hijrah. Rasulullah other daughters also had children, but they were daughters. But this is the first son, and Rasulullah called him his own son. At that time, Arab used to call the grandson is their own son, so he called Hassan as his own son. And the hadith will go like this: then leave that about which you are in doubt. So if you have something that you are doubtful, and then you have something that you are not doubt, so leave that doubtful thing and accept the one that you have no doubt. And this hadith is another narration, and that has the extra line that verily truth is the tranquility. So if you know that is truth, that will give you tranquility in your heart, and falsehood is doubt. So if you have anything in the doubt, most possibly that it is a falsehood. And as I said in the hadith number 6, we also had the same thing. Rasulullah said, avoid the doubtful matters. And the heart that avoid the doubtful matters, it is more like in the borderline with the righteousness. So that's why we should avoid the doubtful matter. This hadith is narrated in At-Tirmidhi and An-Nasai by these two books. It's not in Bukhari and Muslim, but this is a Sahih hadith. Scholars said this is a Sahih hadith, and Imam An Nawabi also mentioned it in this hadith. So let's discuss a little bit about the hadith. First, the hadith narrator. As we all say, the hadith narrator is Hassan ibn Abi Talib, and Hassan is the first son of Fatima radhiyallahu anha, grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was born in the 3rd Hijri. So after Rasulullah moved from Makkah to Medina, he was born in the 3rd of Hijri. And when he was born, his parents, Ali and Fatima, they decided to keep his name Harb. Harb in Arabic means war. So it's a manly name, like Harb means, war, going to work, or someone who represents the war. So because he's their first son, and his son has the power and everything, so Ali and Fatima decided they will keep the name Harb. They took him to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They said that we keep his name Harb. Rasulullah said, no, Harb is not a good name. He said, this is not the name for my son. My son is beautiful. He's Hassan, so his name will be Hassan. And the next son was Hussein. What does Hussein mean? Does anyone know what Hussein means? Hussein means small Hassan, a little smaller, beautiful. And as mentioned in the books, that Hassan when he grew up, because when Rasulullah was passed away, he was only 7 or 8 years old. But even that time, and when he reached his adulthood, he was a very, very handsome man. He's a very handsome man, and he was rich because he is Ahlul Bayt. Because at that time, during the time of Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, and Ali, all this time, the Muslim Ummah was getting a lot of money and everything, and he became, because of he's the Ahlul Bayt, he has a lot of money and he has good looks and everything. So he married a lot of women, and he used to divorce a lot. And because people used to wanted to give their daughter to Hassan. Why? Because he is the grandson of Rasulullah. They want to have a tie with the family of Rasulullah. So even Ali radhiyallahu mentioned in one of the narrations that he told the people of the Medina that don't give your daughter to my son anymore, because he has a nature to divorce quickly. So don't give it to him. But they said doesn't matter. Even if he divorces, it's up to him. But we want to give our daughter to him. At least they have the ties with or maybe they will have a son or a daughter from the Ahlul Bayt, from the progeny of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Hassan, as you all know, that he passed away at the 50th year of Hijrah. So he was only 45 or 46 years old. So 50th Hijrah, he passed away, and it was mentioned that he was been poisoned by one of his wife. Her name was Zab. But there are difference of opinion on that. We're not going to go into this one, but it's mostly narrated that he was been poisoned before death. And before death, he also did a very act of graciousness, because that was the time when there was 2 Khalifa of the Ummah. The people of Medina chose him to be the next Khalifa, and he was Khalifa for the 6 months. And Rasulullah mentioned in a hadith actually that when I passed away, the Khulafa Rashidin will be for 30 years. So if you count the time of Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, and Ali, it comes to 29 years and 6 months. And Hassan was the 5th Khalifa, and his reign was 6 months. So the prediction that Rasulullah made, the 30 years, fulfilled with the Caliphate of Hassan, which is 6 months long. And after 6 months, he himself, get himself out of the Caliphate, because Muawiyah radhiyallahu anhu, he was in Syria, and he claimed his Caliphate, and that was the problem at that time in the Ummah. Because to solve the problem, Hassan radhiyallahu anhu, he decided, no, I'm not going to be in the Khalifa, I will give it to Muawiyah. And there's a lot of history in this one. Inshallah, if we have time, one day we'll go through them. Now, come back to the hadith. So this hadith is very simple, as you know, that we have to avoid the doubtful matters. There's an incident about Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu, which reflects the lesson of this hadith. What happened, once Abu Bakr, because Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu has a habit of buying the slaves. So one of his slaves became very happy, because he's been bought by Abu Bakr, and he was freed by Abu Bakr. So he gathered some food for Abu Bakr. He cooked some goat or whatever, and bring it to Abu Bakr to have it as a dinner or lunch, whatever it is. And Abu Bakr had it. And then the slave said, this is the land I gathered in the time of Jahiliyyah by doing this and this. So he had some haram activities in the time of Jahiliyyah, and he acquired the land with this one. He sold the land, and then with that money he bought this dinner. He made this dinner or something. And when Abu Bakr heard this one, he induces vomit. So he put his finger in the mouth and he vomited, because he didn't want to feed himself something that has linked with haram. So that was the iman of Abu Bakr, because he don't want to 100% sure that no, I don't want anything in my stomach that is from haram. So and that reflects that how cautious they were about avoiding the haram in this way. And as the other part of the hadith mentioned, the heart's tranquility connected with the pureness. When you are a mu'min, you are a true believer, whenever you have something that you have doubt, you will see that your heart is not in rest. Your heart is not in peace. You say whether I should do it or should I not do it, whether I should eat it or not, whether should I take this job or not to take the job. But sometime you will see there are people who are doing haram things continuously, knowingly. They know this is haram, this is not allowed in Islam, but their heart doesn't bother them. So how come this hadith apply to them? Because their heart is dead. Their heart is not a mu'min heart. Scholars say dead heart doesn't have any effect on haram or halal. But a heart that is alive, so sometimes when you feel some doubtness in any matter, it is a good sign that your heart is still pure. Your heart is still alive, that yes, your heart is telling you that, okay, no, I have to be cautious. I have to be cautious. Maybe this is not halal. Allah will, I will acquire sin by doing this one or having this one. So that is the good sign that, you have the restlessness of your heart in choosing the halal and haram. It is a sign that your heart is alive and, active. But, there are people who made haram with their logic and, with their situation. No, the Islam was a long time ago. This is, our time is different in modern time and all these things. Their heart is dead. They have no knowledge, or maybe even if they have knowledge, they have no intention to, follow the halal and haram. So that is what it means, the tranquility of heart. And as a believer, when you're sure that, okay, I have researched my thing and I have found that, I have talked to the sheikh, I have talked to the ulama and all these things, and this is the halal thing, then you will see your heart will be at peace. Then you will feel like, okay, yes, definitely my heart is taking this one as a halal thing. There are some other part of the doubt that sometimes some people, they are too much of, have the restlessness in the heart, and that is called unreasonable doubt. Someone praying Zohar, they are saying, did I pray 3 rakah or 4 rakah? Did I pray 2 rakah or 4 rakah? Is this bread has, emulsifier, this and that, and everything they do has doubt. So that doubt is unreasonable doubt, and we should not be like this. That will make our life difficult. Islam never say that you should make your life difficult. So in those kind of doubts, you have to avoid your doubts, and go with whatever your heart says. And there is the principle in the fiqh. There is a principle in the fiqh. Any doubts after any ibadah has to be rejected. What I mean by that, suppose you are praying Zohar prayer or Isha prayer, and after the prayer finish you have doubt. So you have did your salam, and now you have doubt whether I have prayed 3 rakah or 2 rakah or 5 rakah. If the doubt is after the ibadah, reject it. That is from shaitan. You don't have to worry about this. It's finished. Your ibadah is finished. Yes, if you have doubt during the ibadah, like you are doing tawaf, you forgot, this is my 4th one or 5th one circle, I don't know. In that one, you take the probability. You think yourself what is the best, and go with the lesser one. If you think, okay, maybe I did 4 or 3, take the 3, and go with the most one. That is the principle of the fiqh. And also there is a difference of opinion in the scholars, meaning one topic, like some masail that you have, there are scholars from Hanafi said something, and Shafi said something, and some sheikh said something, and you are confused what to do. Some of the scholars say in this kind of matter you should avoid it. It is makruh to follow that thing. So just avoid the whole matter, Or if you follow, it is okay, but follow with the one that has more evidence, that can collect more evidence. For general people, if you follow your local sheikh or local imam, as you know that the hadith also said, if the imam or the sheikh give a fatwa, even if it's wrong, they get 1 reward. And if someone follow that fatwa, they won't be sinful because they are from the sheikh. But there are some matters in that you have to decide whether it is right or wrong, and in that way you can avoid the doubtful matters. So inshallah ta'ala we'll finish the hadith here, because it's a small hadith, and the concept of the hadith is very clear, that we should be always alert, keep our heart active, that avoid the doubtful matters, and do the thing that is have full evidence that has been designated by all the scholars of Islam and everything, and this is how we can have the tranquility in our heart and do the ibadah according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Jazakallahu khair, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.